to the Businessmen and Women of Color podcast. I am your host, Ann Alston, and it is once again my pleasure to bring quality programs to all of you. I am especially excited today because I have another returning podcast who's not only returning again for the second time, but she is also a two-time corporate sponsor for My Financial Home, Dr. Cosette White, who is here just flaming up the whole entire environment with all of the things that she's doing about financial literacy and all the other stuff that she's got going on, including her books. And we're going to be talking to her today and find out what's been happening since the last time she's been on the podcast. Just in case you didn't know what the podcast is all about, the BMWOC is here to unify people from around the world to talk about their career and business information and share that stuff with you so that you can make informed decisions about your career and learn something new in the process. So make sure that you like, share, and vote for your favorite podcast participant because we want these folks to win one of 7 BMWOC awards that is coming up this season. So make sure you look at all the pages, pick the people who you would like to listen to or listen to all of them, and make sure you like, share, and don't forget to vote. Now, before we get into our exciting interview today, we would like to take a moment to thank our corporate sponsors who are My Financial Home, Evangelism Radio, J&F Enterprises, Sears Consulting, Autism Families Rock, Awakening to Love, Eli Natoli, Kimberly McLemore, True Synergy, and Platinum Financial Services, along with all of our participants who are helping along the way to make this a huge, huge success. So again, I'm really excited because we have Dr. Cosette White, who is a 2-time BMWOC participant and corporate sponsor. She is an acclaimed best-selling author, nationally recognized accounting and tax expert and speaker. She is the founder of My Financial Home Enterprises, a global financial consulting firm providing comprehensive accounting, tax, and business management services for professional service businesses. Over the years, Dr. White has helped thousands of clients build their own successful companies and realize their dream in running their own mini empires because they are living the dream with her help. And she also believes that successful leaders such as herself have the duty to share their knowledge and facilitate the success for others. So I want you to continue reading her bio and also check out her podcast from last year as we talk to Dr. White. Cosette, how you doing?
I'm doing well. Thank you so much. How are you?
Oh my gosh, I'm just fantastic. This is just totally awesome. And thank you so much for being a corporate sponsor and coming back again to support the BMWOC. And for those who have not met you before, make sure that you click on the link below so that you can get her interview from last year. And then for those who are on the mobile devices, Dr. White, I'm going to ask you to introduce yourself and talk a little bit about your background as you was growing up and your interest in accounting.
Absolutely, and thank you again. For those of you who are unfamiliar with me, of course, my name is Dr. Cosette M. White. How did I actually get started, you all? Well, I started building the business, My Financial Home, a few years back. But prior to My Financial Home Enterprises, I've always had a love, a passion for numbers. And I, of course, was the CEO of White Tax Services, which is still in existence. However, today we fall under My Financial Home. But needless to say, how did my passion, how did I get to the point as to where I'm at today? It all started with a vision. It started with someone that took interest in myself. It was a high school teacher who pulled me to the side and mentored me and instilled in me that I needed to go the direction of accounting once I graduated and went off to college. So I took Mrs. Paramore's advice. I started college in studying accounting and finance. I took a few internships while I was in school to determine if this was something that I wanted to make a career out of once I got into the real world. And those interns confirmed that this was the page, the way that I wanted to go. And I've been doing it for over 20 years, you all. I started in corporate America. I stayed in corporate America for a length of time. But during that time period, I knew that I did not want to get up each and every day and go to work for someone else. I knew that I wanted to make a paycheck that was not tied to someone else's dream, but tied to my dream. So during that time, that's when I started White Tax Services. The business grew. It grew faster than I could even imagine. And it actually started growing simply because of the simple fact that I used to do workshops. I used to do many workshops for multi-level marketing companies, and during that time, I just through word of mouth and the material that I was presenting to them at the particular time, tax savings, the business just began to grow. So I say to anybody, and I'll say it to you all, if I was able to save you $10,000 today and multiply that over the next 10 years, would it be worth sitting down and having a conversation with me? Would $100 in your savings account change some things in your life? If yes, if you can answer yes to that, then I say then it's worth the opportunity to sit down and have that conversation with me. But that's kind of how it started. I remember asking my grandmother to do a tax return for me, and she was like, "Honey, we need to sit down and do this tax return ourselves." And that's how it got started, you all. That's how my journey got started. And here we
Mm-hmm.
are today in 27 countries, and excuse me, 27 states in the U.S.
Mm.
and 4 countries. I wish I was in 27 countries, but
Wow.
it's just grown just through the passion and
Mm-hmm.
through helping business owners get a clear understanding of how they can direct their money, how they can navigate their money, and how they can allow the money to grow as business owners. So that's where the passion comes in, and that's how I actually got started.
Absolutely. Well, first of all, thank you for sharing that. And not only are you in all these places, you have been involved in a number of things that where your career just pretty much like took off. Like after the podcast and after some of the stuff that you shared last year. And so let's talk about that. Okay. So you got what TV appearances now, you have a new book came out, let's start with the book because I think this is where it started with the book. You came out with a new book and I'm gonna let you give the name of the book and the concept behind that. And that kind of took off too.
Yes. So last year, I think after we spoke, I released a book, Unveiling the Mask. Unveiling the Mask, for some of you who may or may not know about it, it is my story. It's my journey of where I actually got started from as an adult. As an adult, what happened and what led me to the path that I'm on today, meaning helping business owners, helping others get their finances back in order. My earlier on in my life, I went through some domestic violence. I went through some problems where I ended up on public assistance, but I want you all to know that, we can't look at where we are today. We have to just keep moving forward and be resilient and determination and just, go through perseverance and just go through it all to get to where we are at today. So that's the book, Unveiling the Mask. In the book, I give steps, I give guidelines on how to get your financial situation back on track so that you are not always living in what I call with the welfare mindset. I started out with the welfare mindset, but then I became a warrior. I had to fight my way through it. I had to knock down blocks and buildings and just things to make it through, knowing that even though one storm was over, another one was right on my tail, and I had to work my way through that storm. But in the end, there was a victory. In the end, there was a winner, and that's what I say. I went from welfare to warrior to winning, and I'm winning today. Not just in a braggadocious way, but just putting some things in place that allowed me to think differently. I positioned myself differently, and I leveraged the skill set and the knowledge that God has installed upon me, and just to help others. We can't
Mm-hmm.
always be about ourselves. It's really about helping others. And I say to you all, when you help others, things
Mm-hmm.
will come back your way in a way that you just cannot even imagine. And so when you say that I've taken off, yes, just by really positioning myself and surrounding myself around the right individuals that can help me propel in my industry, in my area, in my and help others
Right.
propel as well. It's no good to come along on this road by yourself. It's
Mm-hmm.
great when you can reach back and say, "Hey, come on, Ann. Hey, come on, Jim. Hey, come on, you guys. Let's get on this boat and let's go together. Let's ride this together." It's no
Mm-hmm.
fun for me to do it by myself. So I really, really, I enjoy seeing others others smile just like I enjoy smiling.
Yeah, I definitely agree with everything you said. I am one for loving to reach back and pay it forward and bring people with me. I'm definitely a big person for that. And I really appreciate that you are also doing that too. And that book, that you came out with, I know that was very personal and things like that, that you actually put out in the universe. And because of that, you've had the opportunities to get booked at so many speaking engagements that I've seen over Facebook and LinkedIn, including some of the other ones that you're doing, and being picked up by news channels. So let's talk a little bit about that.
Absolutely. The latter part of last year, 2018, I decided to invest in a coach. And I invested in a coach. And for those of you, her name is TJ Mercer. And what she states is she may not be good at everything, but she is good at media. And so I took her course, which allowed me to leverage myself and pitch myself to um, the movies, to the media, and to others. Now, we all know the price tag of what it costs to hire a PR person, and I just wasn't down for hiring a PR person when I felt like I had the skill set to do it myself. So, long story short, I just started applying the skills that I learned in her class. I started sending resumes, sending pitches, sending whatever it took to get in the media's face so that I could be booked for a guest appearance. One particular show, Fox 40, I just happened to be on that show, and lo and behold, a conversation came up, and I said, hey, what about having a Money Matters person on your show? I think that would be good. And so I pitched my idea to the host. The host was like, "Oh, that sounds really great. Let me get that in an email and I'll put it in the right person's hands." So it was really about a closed mouth never gets fed. Ask for what you want, ask for what you're worth. So it just happened that I asked for what I wanted. It was an idea that just at the spare of the moment it popped in my head. We went through some negotiations and I was offered the opportunity to be on Fox 40's Studio 40 Live every other week doing a segment on money matters. So I'm really thrilled about it. Doors, I expect for other opportunities to open up as a result of that, but it allows me to position myself as an expert in my industry and others see me in a different light.
Mm-hmm.
And so it's been a great ride. It's been a great ride.
Oh my goodness. Wow. And you know what? I want everybody to hear this one statement that you said, that you actually invested in yourself. You invested in time, you invested by hiring a coach, you invested by getting additional education, and just getting the exposure was very key to getting all of those things. And a lot of times we don't think of our business or our career as investments, and they are.
Right.
Just as important as money, just as important as taxes, right? So,
Right.
I really want people to hear that because a lot of times, like I said, we don't look at it as something that is necessary for us to succeed. And you definitely have proven that in your background and everything. And congratulate you to, for just doing all this stuff. Oh my goodness.
Thank
I keep
you.
seeing you out there doing your stuff. You got so much stuff. You guys are going to have to follow Dr. White. I'm telling you, you're going to have to follow her. She's on Facebook doing little tips. She has her, what is the name of the Facebook group? The Endurance Circle
The
thing going
Entrepreneur
on.
Circle, yes, the
Entrepreneur
Entrepreneur
Circle.
Circle.
Oh my goodness. Talk about that.
Yeah, so the Entrepreneur Circle it's a group on Facebook and it's designed for women. It is a group designed for women who are looking to propel and grow in their business. It's not a group where we get in there and we promote or anything. It's really an educational group and that was why I put it together. That's my mission, to train, to educate other women who may not necessarily be ready to make that investment, but they need little tips here and there to grow their business. So if you haven't found the group, it is called the Entrepreneur Group, or excuse me, the Entrepreneur Circle. And you know, I haven't started it yet because I've been in debt and buried with tax season. But best believe there will be training. I do have some speakers set up to come into the group twice a month to start doing some training as well. So it's called the Entrepreneur Group, and it's part of it's over
Mhm.
there on Facebook.
Awesome, awesome. So, what activities do you have in the current months coming up where people can actually sign up and do a workshop or attend a webinar or anything like that? What do you have going on coming up that people should be aware about?
Well, I would say this.
Hmm.
If you get in the group, the Entrepreneur Circle, that's where I will be holding the webinars, the telesummits, and things like that over the next couple of months. As of today, I can't give you guys a website, but I will say if you follow me, I am very active in the community and I'm always doing something. One thing that I would like to share, and Ann hasn't made mention of it because maybe she doesn't even know, but I just released 5 books this week. So,
What? 5 books? Oh my gosh. Okay.
yes, I released 5 books on Tuesday, making me the first African American woman to debut 5 finance books in one day.
What?
So that's what I need for you guys to,
Oh my gosh.
be ambassadors of. Spread the word about that. The first African American woman to debut 5 books in one day, and
Nice.
they're books that I didn't intend for them to be released all on the same day, but I was challenged by my coach and I went ahead and I made it happen. We just so happened to release the books during the month of Women's History Month as well, so I'm proud about that. The books are Business Formation, The Ultimate Guideline to Forming an LLC, The ABCs of Starting the Business, How the FICO Do I Repair My Credit, and then there's a book on 50 money mindsets and quotes. And then my favorite book is Barriers and Biases, Take Control of Your Money, How to Demand More Money in the Workplace. And I say that's my favorite book because oftentimes I have women come to me and say, how can I demand more in the workplace? How can I negotiate that salary? And that's what that book is all about. Just one little thing that I like to always share is that sometimes we're timid or we're afraid to negotiate when we're up against our employer and we're looking for a new job and they've made that job offer to us. When they make that job offer, that's when it's your opportunity to negotiate. Not before, but wait until the offer is made to you. Offer 3 weeks vacation or negotiate 3 weeks vacation, 4 weeks of vacation in comparison to the 2 weeks. Think about it from a money standpoint. If you leave that organization, they're obligated to pay you the accrued vacation that you have. So that's money in your pocket. So I give the women, and it's geared towards the women, nothing against our men, but it's geared towards our women. I give you tips, I give you tools, I give you advice so that you can win at the money game and you can take control of
Hmm.
your financial situation if you have that job and you haven't jumped over
Hmm.
into the entrepreneurial world just yet. And then we have some entrepreneurs who do both. So
Hmm.
the book is geared towards whoever's trying to take control of their money situation, their money game at work. So yes, it was 5 books that came out this week. I'm extremely happy.
Nice.
As of today, 3 of them hit the bestseller list, and I know you and I had that conversation, but 3 of them hit the bestseller
Nice.
list.
Nice. You know what? Congratulations. I
Thank
no,
you.
I did not know that you were going that hard. Okay. I think you might have mentioned it to me, but you sprung it on me. You sprung it on me. You know what? And I'm flabbergasted. But we're going to make sure that we have all the links to her books that's going to be on this page. And if you feel inspired to also look at other avenues in which people have multiple books in multiple things, you have Dr. Cosette White, you have the incredible Gregory Hunter from last year, you have Dr. Will Moreland, who have all these books, right? So, and the whole reason why I'm mentioning that because we need to invest in buying more and reading more books.
Mhm.
There's so many books being published, like thousands of books are being published than ever before. So there's no excuse on why not to buy a book because there's information out there to be read. And if you're not investing in yourself, to get some of that stuff. And let me tell you, I'm a business coach, so I teach people how to do business. But she's got books already that's helping people. So if you're not buying that book as a piece of investment, you're missing out. You're definitely missing out. So what else you got up your sleeves? I don't know. I'm scared to ask you anything. You might have something else going on, Doctor. You might have something else going on. What else?
No, that's just it for the year. That's it for right now. Let's just say I do have some other things that I will be kicking out as the year goes,
Mhm.
but I really developed those books because I see clients on a regular basis, and
Mhm.
through the midst of sitting through an appointment, I
Mhm.
may get a question of, what do you think about me opening up an LLC, or what should I do about this?
Mhm.
As a matter of fact, before we got on our call, there was a call that came through that said, I started a business last year. I
Mhm.
didn't make any money, but we had a lot of expenses going out the door. So I'm always
Mm.
probed with questions. So it was due to the client demand is the reason for putting these books together. How can I get my credit score up, Cosette? What can I do? So I said, hey, rather than continuously answer the questions, I can direct my clients to say, hey, why don't you
Mhm.
go grab a book, invest in yourself, read up on everything that there may be to know about this particular subject, and direct them over to my website or Amazon.com. So for me, it was
Absolutely.
helping the client, but when you think about it on the back end, it was just another revenue stream, another stream of income that could potentially come in and just,
Mhm.
flow and offset some of the business expenses that I have as a business owner.
Absolutely. I don't think, yeah, I think you saying too many good nuggets right here. They're just going to have to call you, Dr. White, to get more good information like that because you touched on a couple things. Let me just kind of recap. One of the strong points that I've heard in the last few minutes was that women need to be better at negotiating. Negotiating for salaries, when is the proper time. And I don't even think people knew that they can negotiate leave. I think the only time that I thought about negotiating leave in my whole entire career if I knew I had something planned coming up, but not when I didn't have anything planned, not thinking about negotiating leave. So I think that that is a very interesting point that you brought up. And then the other point that I kind of got out of this is just, making sure that you stay consistent and intentional about what it is that you want your business to turn into. So if you are asking advice about how to start a business, that you are getting with people like Dr. Cosette White and you're finding out what it is you need to do so you can be intentional about taking action on what you need to do to start your business. And I think those are really good high points that I kind of got out of the last few minutes of your interview.
Absolutely. You touch bases on every single one of them. Yes.
Hmm.
So yes, yes. It's important you all just be intentional and you said it earlier, Ann said it earlier. Invest in yourself. That is the only way that you can grow. I've grown over the years and it's because I've taken the time to invest in myself and I've been intentional about making sure that and I research and I do a little bit of investigation before I just jump into any and every coach that may look great on the surface. I have to do my due diligence so that I'm not burnt or out of money. And I think that as business owners, that should not be just for researching a coach or a mentor, but in any business transaction, do your own homework, do your due diligence.
Absolutely. So I have one final question for you, Dr. White, and I know that I shouldn't ask you this because you have everything right now. But I want to ask, and I'm asking everyone this, is what do you need personally and professionally to take it to the next level and to keep you in business? What do you need?
That's a really great question, and I wouldn't say that I have everything. Because we all lack in certain areas, but I would say, and I know this is sounding crazy, but I am going to say I wish I did have more time, in which we all do. But
Mm,
on the serious note, I wish I had someone that could really put together, help me with my social marketing, and I think that's correct, digital marketing, put together
mhm,
sales funnels and that nature. So that's what I'm lacking in the business right now.
mhm.
A couple of sales funnels that could assist me, as well as an event planner.
Nice. Okay, guys, you heard it. She just put it out there for you. So if you're not listening, she just put it out there. So if you are interested in helping her with her social media and digital marketing, and she is serious now, so you got to be serious before you contact her. And if you are an excellent meeting planner, because as busy as the tax season can get and everything that she's doing, you definitely have to be on your toes and be very accurate with calendar planning and meeting planning planning and anything regarding her planning, anything, you got to be on the one. So make sure that you reach out to her by clicking her information below. If you're interested in tax and doing a workshop, make sure you contact her. If you want to see her on Fox, we're going to have her link there so you can check out her Money Matters. And if you're interested in the 7 books that she got going on, because I know 5 dropped today, and then she also had 2 before. If you're interested in any of her books, we're going to have those links on her page as well. And so if you like this interview and you have fun with us today, just like, share, and vote for Dr. White, and also check out the other podcast participants and vote for them as well. So Dr. White, thank you so much for being on the podcast. Whew. You're exciting. So all I know is that you got a whole lot going on, and I wish you all the best and luck and continued success representing, women of color and doing everything that you're doing to spread financial literacy around the world. So thank you so much.
You are very welcome. Thank you.